New at 10 right now, New Orleans city leaders say that they have identified some of the biggest risks in New Orleans' water system, but fixing them comes down to one thing, money.
That's right. And tonight, WDSU investigator Cassie Sherm talks with the Sewerage and Water Board about where the next major break could happen and what could still be missed.
Here's Cassie's report, Boiling Point.
I walked through the city system with the top leaders from Sewerage and Water Board to learn what's broken, what's the plan to fix it, and what could happen if we don't move fast enough.
I cannot guarantee that 2 week blocks away it won't break.
We walked through Uptown with the Sewerage and Water Board's Executive Director Randy Heyman and Superintendent Caitlin Tamrock pressing for answers on what's being fixed and what's still at risk.
Do you think this is critical that we address things like this right in front of us?
Extremely critical.
That's the reality beneath New Orleans. Aging pipes, constant pressure. This year alone, 6 major water main breaks. Flooded streets, damaged homes, boil water advisories.
So I think a lot of people are pretty fed up.
And they should be fed up. I'm angry with it. No one wants the water main breaks, but 30% of our pipes are over 100 years old.
A 2024 map shows it in red, some of the oldest pipes across New Orleans. The system stretches across more than 1,600 miles of water mains. And taking a look at the work order database, more than 1,700 water-related work orders are active. More than 140 involve water main leaks.
So on any given day, we have crews all around town working on work orders, right, for a water, sewer system, drainage. So we have crews nearly 7 days a week, essentially.
So it's a system handling thousands of problems.
We completed 33,000 work orders last year. There is a lot of work that's being done by our incredibly talented crews.
While trying to stay above water.
But our employees are working very hard to address them.
How do we get to a point where we're not just chasing after the issues, but actually preventing them?
Well, we have to be strategic in what we're doing, but we need funding.
And this isn't new. 2 years ago, WDSU Investigates asked what would happen if these pipes weren't replaced.
What kind of condition will the city be in?
It could be very catastrophic because those water mains, the breaks are going to get worse and worse. And you know, when we talk about a distribution system, it's not just the mains, it's also the valves that operate and kind of help us isolate a break when that happens. If these valves don't work, that main could be indefinite. It could take on days before we're able to isolate it.
At the same time, New Orleans City Council said it would not approve more money for pipe replacement until billing problems were fixed. And now those warnings are becoming a reality, and leaders say they're already watching what could fail next.
We have identified 3 additional high priority transmission main projects we need to be working on next. The South Claiborne 3rd leak, I think a lot of people are familiar with that one. There is a valve and another issue at Fillmore and Cartier, which we've been working on for some time as well to be able to sequence that into all the other things we have going on. There is also a 48-inch water main over on Florida Avenue, and there's a leak over there.
But there could be many more weak spots across the system that we do not know about, because until now, pipe conditions haven't been consistently assessed.
The condition assessment is something that we are, reinvigorating now. There, just for a variety of reasons, was because of the transmission main project and other work that has not been something we've done consistently. But we recognize through all this process that that's really important.
To address that, they're launching a pilot program to test some of the oldest pipes using inline technology to identify weak spots before they fail. That data will then be used to prioritize what gets fixed first, a shift towards better targeting repairs instead of only responding. Now, this would cost the department $1 million. This is just one of a 6-step plan that would include repairing high priority areas costing $3 million and $100 million for just initial projects.
Do we have the funding for that?
At this point, we don't. Okay, at this point, we have $9 million or so for our water, wastewater, and drainage. About 3.5 of that is for just our water system. Okay, and out of that, we also have to maintain our wastewater plants. Now, there's some other funding that we received in past years that we're using to do some of the work and to keep going forward. But it's very important, and I think you would agree, it's very important that we get the additional funding, be it from the state, federal, or even the city, that would assist us in moving forward with the projects that must be done.
Replacing the oldest pipes alone?
Looking like $2 billion.
And for now, they're trying not to pass that cost on to customers.
Best to stay away from rate increases as best we can. At some point, we're going to have to look at where we are with our rates.
And expect to have a better idea of the next steps in the coming months. Until then, the system remains under pressure.
The longer you wait and you have a system that deteriorates and it's already 100 years old, it will reach its end of life.
Some would say they've lost trust in Sewage and Water Board over the past few years. What would you say to that?
One, I say I'm the new executive director. I've only been here 7 months, number one. Number two, I bring with me a lot of knowledge from the 21 years and the other utilities that I worked at that were successful. I know that people are frustrated, and I know the weight is on us heavier to do even better. And we have to do better because our community, our family, our friends deserve that. And so we're going to find a way.
Long-term Sewage and Water Board says they hope to replace 60% of the pipes in 20 to 30 years. Reporting here in New Orleans, I'm Cassie Sherm, WDSU Investigates.
All right, we will see as the surge for funds continues. State and local leaders, they're looking for solutions. Mayor Helena Moreno suggested Sewage and Water Board look at bond sales or a parcel fee to raise money. She says her team is also brainstorming other ideas.